Good afternoon, guys. This is your Sir DRV again, and welcome back to our Mythic Heroes Hero Review series. And this time, we will be reviewing Persephone. So, this is actually one of my other accounts, and I mainly use Persephone here as one of my damage dealers. As you know, I created a lot of accounts just to test out different heroes and to give you much precise hero review. All right, so without further ado, let's go. So, Persephone is actually the god of debuffing. All right, you heard it right, the god of debuff. So for endgame, there is actually a lot of enemies with healing skills, pesky attack and defense buffs, and most of the bosses have healing abilities as well. So this is where the Persephone comes in handy. All right, so let's check out her skills. First, the Bitter Blossoms, her ultimate. So Persephone makes the field of Nether Flowers bloom, dealing 250% damage to enemies within area and increasing the stack of Nether Flowers by 1. So this ultimate is an AoE damage, and it's a combination to her damage dealing passive or second skill. So we will go to that later. Let's just complete the ultimate first. So at level 2, increasing the stack of Nether Flowers by 2. At level 3, deals 275% damage. At level 4, deals 300% damage. So it is a good AoE damage as well. Alright, so let's go with her passive. The main damage dealing skills of Persephone. So it's the Nether Flowers. So at the beginning of the battle, Persephone applies 1 stack of Nether Flowers to the opponent's side. If the enemy auto attack, they will have a 75% chance to take damage equal to 60% of Persephone's attack, and their healing received is reduced by 50%. So just like I told you, Persephone, god of the buffs, in order to stop those pesky healers from healing so much. And Nether Flowers can changes as it is stock. At 2 stocks, damage increased to 80%. At 3 stocks, the triggering chance of an auto attack is increased by 100%. So whenever enemy auto attacks, they are taking damage because of the Nether Butterflies. And at level 2, at 4 stacks of Nether Flowers, deals 35% more damage to enemies with health less than 50%. So the less health the enemy have, the more damage. Level 3, Nether Flowers start at 2 stocks. Alright, so that's good. And at level 4, at 5 stocks of Nether Flowers, deals 100% damage. Alright, so that's pretty good. So this is actually one of her main damaging skills. Although it is only a passive, but it definitely is a good amount of damage if you will be combining it with the Bitter Blossoms and her weapon. So we will check her weapon later. Let's complete the skill set first. Alright, so the third one is Nether Butterflies. Alright. So the Nether Butterflies, Persephone summons Nether Butterflies, dealing 200% damage to enemy with the most buffs and dispersing all the buffs. So you see that she is giving out aura, purple aura. So that's her Nether Butterflies. So it deals 200% damage to enemy with the most buffs and dispersing all buffs. At level 2, additionally, enemy target cannot receive any buffs for 5 seconds. And just a quick tip, just so you know, healing buff, healing is actually considered as a buff. So if enemy is inflicted with nether butterflies, they won't be healing for 5 seconds at level 2. At level 3, whenever a buff is dispersed, it deals 50% damage. Alright? So, for example, if enemy is healing. If she use her nether butterflies, it will stop their healing, and they can't be healed for 5 seconds for level 2. At level 4, they cannot receive any buff for 10 seconds. So there are also other pesky buff like attack buff and defense buff from the enemy, so this is definitely good. But this is mainly used for those pesky healers. All right. At her fourth skill, the Nether Protection, reduce physical damage taken by Persephone and allies by 25%. So not only she's good with debuffing, she's also buffing your team. So how good is that? 25% of defense, like reduces physical damage, right? So if you have enemy like Susano, Artemis, Lucifer, what else? Those tanks. If you have those as your enemy, then you will greatly benefit from this Nether Protection. Alright, so at level 2, every stack of Nether Flowers increase all allies, dodge by 3%, reduces physical damage taken by 30%. At level 4, every stack of Nether Flowers increase all allies dodge by 4%. So not only defense, it is also giving us dodge and what else? Yeah, physical defense and dodge. So it's a great benefit for the team. So remember, her main damage dealing is Nether Butterflies, Nether Flowers, and Bitter Blossoms. Alright, so Nether Butterflies only affect one enemy. If you haven't upgraded the weapon, so let's go to the weapon. Alright, so as you can see, increases the number of targets of Nether Butterflies. So earlier, just like I told you, the Nether Butterfly, her third skill, is only affecting one enemy, but at weapon 100, it affects 2. Alright, so at 200, when the target of Nether Butterflies has no buffs, deal additional damage to equal to 5% of their current health. So this is why Persephone is also good for bosses. Alright, she is doing percentage damage. Alright, so it's like a Zeus or Artemis. At 200, she's doing that. Alright, so at 300, it is increased to 7.5%. And then at 400, this is where Persephone really shines, and definitely it is a must-have. You need to increase her weapon to 400 in order for her to maximize her AoE. So what is 400? So it increases the number of targets of Nether Butterflies to 3. So now 3 enemies is affected by Nether Butterflies. Alright, so it deals 200% damage. And take note, this is her active skill, not her ultimate. So this is actually her best damage dealing, not the ultimate. Alright, so let's go with her equipment. So remember, her best damage is active skill, not the ultimate, okay? So we will consider that when selecting the correct rune and artifact. Alright, so for the rune, you need the air rune. Why? Because just like I mentioned, Persephone is really good dealing damage using her skills, not her ultimate. Alright, so you need her to use her active skill more often in order for you to do more damage. Alright, so Yasakani Magatama, same as air rune, it decreases. Sometimes you will have a chance to decrease the cooldown of the same skill for 42% chance. Alright, so for the air rune, currently I have orange rune legendary. It reduces skill cooldown by 9%. What if you have red or white? So that will be pretty insane. Okay, all right, so there's no other runes and artifact that you can use for Persephone. This is the only rune and artifact for her. All right, so for the divinity, now if you're just starting with Persephone, I suggest you use the torment and the embroilment. So what it does, increase damage dealt to enemies with a debuff on them by 12%. And when health is above 50%, increase damage dealt by 10%. When health is below 50%, it reduces damage taken by 10%. So this is the starting skills or divinity skills for Persephone. So I'm not going to suggest this because this is much better. So if you're in the mid game or end game, then this is the skill set for her. Alright, so the first one is the Colossus. Increases attack by amount equal to 50% of hero's defense during battle. So remember, more attack on Persephone, more damage on her active skill, the Nether Butterflies. So definitely good. This one is not that good. So what you need is the Colossus. Next one is the Excitement. Oh no, not the Excitement. The Engulf. So for the Engulf, after each of the first two ultimates, hero gains a buff which increases lifesteal by 12%. So after doing ultimate, if the fight is towards to the mid game, then your Persephone will have lifesteal. Alright. Okay, so the last one would be the Prevail. Alright. If enemy's health is more than this hero's, reduce enemy's damage dealt by 18%. If enemy's health is less, increase this hero's damage dealt by 18%. So the skill set is Colossus, Prevail, and Engulf. Alright, Colossus, Prevail, and Engulf. That's for mid and end game. For early game, Torment and Embroilment. Alright, so that's her divinity skills. And let's check her skins. So you can actually gain her skin by participating on the current event, the Halloween Carnival, by doing some pumpkin farms. Unfortunately, you can't get to 70 unless you purchase more of these magic wand on the shop. I believe you need at least $5 purchase in order for you to get to 70 until the end, until 5 days more, if you started at first day. But if you haven't started, or if you started mid game of the Halloween event, unfortunately you would have to purchase. I think it's much better to purchase the skin directly from here, from the fashion. Okay, so for $749, which is equal to $15 US dollars, you can get one of these skins. All right. Okay, so that's it for Persephone. I would like to showcase my Persephone guys for you, and just like I told you, this is my other alt account, and I mainly focusing on upgrading Persephone here, just to give out some best review for you guys. All right, so let's test it out. All right, next is Persephone. The second fight is Persephone. Let's go. That's the Nether butterflies, you see? 4 is actually affected, right? Let's repeat it again in slow motion. I'm not sure if it's 4 because there's also a Persephone at the enemy's side. One more time, let's check. So 1, 2, 3. Yep, 3. One more time. Can you guys spot it? So check tamamo, guys. Okay. Alright, so yeah, there's only 3 targets of the Nether butterflies, but that's good because that Nether butterflies is too strong. And if you have the air rune and the Yasakani Magatama, there's a chance for you to do that again over and over again. Alright, so let's just finish this. Okay. Alright. So I won't be doing much of this. Okay, so that's it for our goddess of debuff, Persephone. So if you have questions, comments, suggestion, please leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. It will help me a lot. Thank you very much, and we will see you again on our next video. All right, thank you very much, guys. I love you all. Goodbye for now.